Here I got a 2010 Honda Civic. He has about 200,000 miles, I think. The problem that this thing has is to drain the battery overnight. So you park it around 6 p.m. and then the next morning it's not going to start. The battery just died. So we're going to do some testing. It does have another electrical problem that we're going to figure it out, but it's not a big deal. The other one is just kind of overheating, something like that. But we're not going to look into that right now. We're just going to go for this. So this is my setup. This is normal DVOM. You set that out to DC 10 amps and hook the wires like this. You probably do not want to hold this for a long time. Just keep them hooked up like that. You might damage the DVOM. Maybe not, but it's possible. So if you want to go fancy, I got fancy things to work on too. But it has pretty much the same setup. DVOM and oscilloscope, blah blah blah, bunch of things. A lot of people don't have it, so we're gonna do it with a $12 one. I think this is how much I paid for this thing, $12, and this is a long time ago. I've been using this in a lot of videos. You will see that. So we're gonna check this out. We're just gonna touch that right there. See if I can do it one hand. So as you can see, I'm making contact with the what do you call the clipper, with the whatever you call that thing, and it has 0.36261 amps. That's a lot. It's gonna drain this battery, and they couldn't figure it out what's going on. They've been looking for it. They give up because the guy, what he was doing, it was disconnecting the negative on the battery, leave it like that overnight, and plug it back in the morning. But you know, it's such a pain in the neck doing that all the time. So so here I am trying to find out what's going on. What I said is a typical that it goes bad in a lot of vehicles is the radio shorting out inside, and you're gonna see the radio drains the battery. Now on Japanese car, I don't really see the radio unless it's aftermarket, but I don't really see that many radios going bad though, at least on these old vehicles. The new ones I can't say anything because I don't know. They don't be out on the market for a long time. I'm talking about 20, 21, 22, 23, or 19, 18, whatever. But these older vehicles, I don't see that kind of drain. I see that on the Chrysler, Fiat, old Italian garbage. I can see Alfa Romeo or other BS, a lot of Fords or Chevys, Dodges, they would do that. But on Japanese, I don't see that very often, the radio going by. So that's why I'm not going to go for the radio. I did ask the guy what he did, or see he's put some something, like different, like lights, a bunch of other stuff. But he says, nah, he just bought it like that. But now the battery would not keep the charge overnight. So I'm gonna start taking some pieces apart, so it'll be a lot easier for you to see it, and let's find out what's going on. So this is the setup, very simple. You can either remove the terminal and test it like that. You can just put it away, test that out. See, 362, 360 something. Yeah, that's a big, it's gonna drain the battery. It's not gonna hold it. So what I did right here is I removed the cover that goes here on the dashboard, and look what I find out. This is the radio, so this is the stock radio. I don't think think this has a problem. I never see maybe 1 out of 100 or whatever, but I don't see the radio having a problem in Japanese car that often. There's got to be one. There's got to be one or two, whatever. But most likely you're gonna find the lights right here. There's something shorting out in here. You can just take these apart, or take the valves out, or take it apart, or the doors, whatever. Anything that has power when you take the key off, or the door switch, the hood, whatever, the trunk, all that stuff is gonna pull power. Or you can have another short in the system, but for now, what I see here is As you can see right there, this guy has an aftermarket remote start. Those things, they having a lot of problem with those things, especially when they get old. So what I will say look for that. If you have some issues with any vehicle, look for that first. And usually they're right here. As you can see, this is the whole setup right here for the remote start system. Unlock the vehicle. This is another module right here. So everything is hooked up. It has the fuses. I check all the fuses, they're still good. You can remove the fuses, so you have no power. But some of these wires, they still have power. Some of it, they still taking power, and they still taking power off to your battery. So on this car, we're gonna disconnect all this, and we're gonna check for it. I've been fixing a lot of vehicles. They have aftermarket stuff like this. That's why the first thing I do when somebody tell me, oh, my battery is draining overnight, I look on the windshield, I look everywhere to see if I can find anything that is aftermarket, something add up, whatever they did. Sometimes it's not, they don't even cost that much money. They're Chinese stuff, they don't even work that good. So we're gonna disconnect all this crap right here, take all the fuses off, everything. We're gonna disconnect all this, and I'm gonna go test it. If I see that the power drop, then this is the problem. If it's not, then we're gonna look for something else. Then I might go for the radio, start taking the fuses out while I have the DVOM connected and blah blah blah. But like I said, I've been fixing a lot of these things just like that, taking these things off, obviously putting a new one back on. If the person wants remote start and whatever, if they want it, they got to go to a new one. So I'm gonna do that now. Start taking this thing apart just to see what's going on with this. Unplugging all the wires. This one has okay. Taking all these apart. Alright, this is disconnected. Then we're gonna disconnect that right here. This is the main connector, I guess that's what you can call it. Okay, alright, and this is the whole piece, as you can see right here. I think this is bad, maybe not. I'm not gonna throw it away. We're gonna keep it right there. What is the other module? This is the other module. Disconnect this. I'm gonna disconnect this too. I'm gonna disconnect all this crap right here. It's hard to do it with one hand, but it's coming off. So, all right. I'm trying not to break one of these, because if it's still good, then I have to pay for it. So we're gonna keep it. It's my friend's car, but if I break it, I'll buy a new one. So this is the other piece. We're gonna put everything right here. Those two pieces, you see all this bunch of wires right here. I still have the fuses hooked up. I'm not gonna take the fuses off because there's no point doing it. I don't see any other connector right here. Again, don't just look on this part right here. It can be underneath right here by your brake system. It can be mounted somewhere, anywhere, whatever the technician put it on, or whoever is doing it. You need to look for those wires. They're gonna hook the wire right on the steering wheel, what is the security system, all that blah blah blah. So let's go on the front and see what happened. See if we have something. And what is my DVOM? Oh, it fell off. All right, let's turn it back on, because this thing turns off automatically. It's on 0, so we're gonna touch this. It's on 0. Okay, I'm gonna just remove the terminal, because I'm only using one hand, and we still have 318. Well, it just dropped down, because as you can see, when I remove the terminal, I hook this up. All the capacitors on the computer and BCM and blah blah blah, all those that have to be filled up with power again. So that's why you saw 300 and some. So as you can see right now, we're only pulling 11. So that's 0.011 amps. So that is not going to drain your battery. That's normal. That's kind of normal for any vehicle. Some vehicle might got the 28, 25, 22. Some Mercedes I see they have more than that, and all fancy vehicle they have more because it's more computer stuff. But they do have bigger battery than this. So, like I said, some Mercedes have 2 batteries. So I guess it's a reason why they do it like that. You know, the engineers, they supposed to know what they're doing. So as you can see, that drops right there. See, that is not if or buts about it. So we found the problem, and that's all what it is. That module right there is draining the battery. That thing is not good anymore because it's not killing something inside the switches that is supposed to kill the power. It only leave the power for the remote start, and you know, the remote, the open the doors and close the door. That's the only power that it needs. But on this thing, it's not good. So as you can see, a simple fix. You don't have to go nuts trying to take all the fuses out. But again, if I'll hook this up like the way I had it right now, let me remove that so we don't need that anymore. If I hook that up the way we have it right now, and I still see 461, 361, 561, 6, whatever, a big number, then I will go for the fuses and start pulling the fuses one at a time, or just set this up on different way that I will show you how to do it, and start checking the fuses right here. And whatever the fuses are in the car, the fuses are on the passenger side, by the driver's side, so the fuses are pretty much everywhere. So you need to find all the fuses. Now with this thing, I don't see any problem. Sometimes the main computer might short inside, having some issues with it, but it's not that often to see that though. So that's why I don't say go for the big computer or the BCM body control module, because sometimes it's just not, you know, it's no point. You got to go for the obvious thing first. And again, the obvious thing on this vehicle was the remote start. That's the first thing I would check on any vehicle, because it's something aftermarket and it's not going to work as good as a factory one. So another thing is, you can just other thing you can check is the alternator. The alternator in this vehicle is right here. It's pretty old. It's the original alternator and it's still working. So what you do is you unplug this connector right here and check there. If you see some big power that is drawing from the battery, you know your alternator is just bad, and then you're going to need to replace it, or just keep on taking the negative terminal off until you fix the vehicle, or just pull a kill switch, whatever, and that will stop draining the battery. But again, you're not going to have remote start. You're not going to have a bunch of other stuff that you might need it or you don't need it. So that's it for this video, for this battery drain. I'm going to make another video for this car has overheating problem. We're going to look into that, what's going on, but I don't want to make this video even longer. So enough with that. Just remember, when you get those type of battery drain, don't just go nuts to start unplugging fuses and blah blah blah, all the stuff. Go for the obvious thing first. And if you got remote start on your vehicle, if you know you had it, go for that first. Unplug everything. If that goes away, then you're good. I do have another, but I don't have here. The card is not here. That I will show you, the one that it has a remote start. That thing is taken away from the battery. I think like 20 something, 26, 24, draining the battery. You know, it's just it's a little drain because it has to be, it's alive in the car, so when you hit the control it will respond, but it's not 300 and something. That is way too much. But when I get that vehicle, I might add that video on this showing you how much is supposed to be taken away from the battery. Not 300 or 400, 500, whatever. It's about 20 something. I guess it depends what type of remote start you got on the vehicle. There is some fancy one that use your cell phone, so that might take a little bit more power to power up the phone in the vehicle, the one that takes the internet, all that kind of stuff. So, but again, you got to look for the obvious things. All right, that's not need to be pulling all the fuses and blah blah blah, or fancy equipment. The one that I had, there is no need for it. See that cheap little thing? we found the problem with this $12 Walmart Ignova, I guess the name is. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the video. That is this car is overheating, same vehicle. Might do it in a couple of days because I got something else to do. I got to work on an ABS system that I'm gonna make a video for it, and see what's going on. So thanks for watching.